Welcome back to Yoke's Kitchen. I know y'all want to make them greens and black eyed peas for the New Year's, and I'm going to show you how to make it. So, first thing, you are going to need some very good smoked meat. It doesn't matter what type of meat it is as long as it's smoked. I am using ham hocks for my black eyed peas, and I'm using smoked turkey necks and a smoked turkey leg for my collard greens. Now, why did I choose to do it that way? I am a little bit more traditional when it comes to my beans, and smoked pork is the number one option for me, in my opinion, when it comes to making beans. So that is why we're using those ham hocks. Now, yes, you do see some vegetables on here. I am also going to cook these down. As you can see, they're chopped up very, very, very fine, very similar to how I chop them up when I'm making my Alfredo sauce. You want the flavors, not so much as the look of it. So we do have an onion. We have this is about 4 cloves of garlic, 4 teeth of garlic. We have just a little piece of yellow pepper. I found it in the fridge. I was just gonna throw it in there anyway. And we have 2 stalks of celery. You can choose whatever it is that you want. This is all for flavor. Now, talking about that smoked meat again, when you're boiling that smoked meat, when you got your initial boil and you throw off that first water, you want to keep that because that's where all your flavors are for both your greens and your black eyed peas. Now, moving right along, I got some bacon fat. Now, this is bacon fat that I actually rendered myself. We had bacon and pancakes this morning. So this is the fat from that bacon, and I am going to cook down my vegetables to, kind of bring out those flavors. Dano's Original is what we're using. We have some onion powder, garlic powder, we have some crushed red pepper, we have some complete seasoning, just a little bit of accent. We're gonna use some Tony Saturates because I can. If you don't want to, don't do it. We got some black pepper, some pink Himalayan salt, 1 packet of chicken bouillon. This is powdered chicken bouillon. You can use whatever, but my 1 packet is going to serve for both. So we're going to use that. And of course, you need a splash of vinegar for those collard greens. Let's get that smoked meat off the stove and get to cooking. Smoked meat. So for the collard greens, we are using smoked turkey leg, which looks like this. This has been boiling for about 2 hours on medium heat, just trying to slowly break that down. And we also have turkey necks is what I'm putting in those greens as well. And that's how that looks. So what you want to do, now you can choose to keep everything off of that turkey neck, the turkey leg if you choose, but you obviously want to get out those big fibrous pieces because nobody likes to eat that. So just break that meat down off of that bone like such for, if you don't like, or the people who don't want to eat the turkey necks, they can just have the meat in their bowl. So you just break it down as much as you can and get those pieces out. Your same pot that you just had your turkey legs boiling in, you are going to get your juice that you got from your turkey leg and your turkey wings, and we're going to put it back into the pot, and you're going to season this to your liking before you add your collard greens back in. You don't need much of it because you don't want the collard greens to really be swimming in there. Okay, so that's about, I have 2 bunches of green. They're not big bunches, so that was about 4 or 5 cups of the liquid. All right, 5 cups of that liquid. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Now to your liquid, you're gonna start seasoning this now. So you're just gonna put a little bit of garlic powder. Of course, this would be new. Garlic powder to your liking. Now again, you don't have to use anything and everything that I am using. You can season to your liking. So we're gonna go with some garlic powder, some onion powder, and greens don't have to be too busy. Just a little bit of complete seasoning. definitely have to add crushed red pepper. Just a few. A little bit of Cajun seasoning. So this is going to work as my salty factor. Just a little bit. Just a hit of accent. When I say a hit, I mean a hit like that. Some Danos. Now this right here is everything that you need. This is excellent, excellent. I love Danos. Some black pepper. That half a packet of chicken bouillon we was talking about. Just a little bit, just to wake up that seasoning just a bit. And you're gonna give this a stir. Make sure that you taste it, make sure it has a good flavor, and you can move forward. Now, what I like to do is I like to put my meat down first, because obviously smoked meat, you can cook it till kingdom come and it'll still be together. So as you can see, these turkey necks, I'm gonna put them down first, like so. I am then gonna go in with my smoked turkey leg. Put that in there too. Now it doesn't have to be turkey. As I said, you can use pork, you can use whatever it is, but I have kind of grown to liking smoked turkey in my greens. And like I said, my beans, I gotta have pork in my beans. But if you don't want to use any, you don't have to. You can get some liquid smoke and kind of create that own flavor, that smoky flavor with that liquid smoke. Okay, so that's how that looks. Holy shoot. Give that a quick little stir. Now, my greens have been washed, picked, and cut. And I like my greens to be cut fine, as you see here. It almost looked like party strings, like that. This is how I like my greens cut. I don't like too much stems, but I did keep some stems in here. And you are just going to add your clean greens to your pot. They'll hear somebody. You just let me know, Mama, somebody outside. Okay. Now, as I said, this was 2 bunches of greens. It does not matter. You can add however many greens or however much to your pot. Your greens will break down with the steam. As soon as you put a lid on here, the same thing that happens with cabbage will happen to the collard greens. All right, so you're just gonna pack them in there. You got a few left. The water doesn't matter. Just make sure that you wash them very, very good. Obviously, the water's still going to be a little bit of green because of the chlorophyll in the collard greens, but that's not a big deal. Now, I also do have a small onion that I add to my greens. I'm just going to throw that on the top, and I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to let this go. We got this on medium. That's not medium low, so that's probably like medium high. We're gonna let this go, and once the greens are submerged into the liquid and they're kind of broken down, then we'll go in, we'll throw in just a little bit of that white vinegar, and you gotta just let it cook. All right, so let's get started on those black eyed peas. So my black eyed peas have been soaking. I didn't soak them overnight. They've been soaking for probably about 2 hours in hot water. You know, when you first put your peas in water, they kind of like float. I was always told that those were the bad ones, so you pick them out and you just let them soak. So that was that situation with that. So to that same pot that I was boiling my ham hocks, I have separated the liquid from the ham hocks because I want to make sure that that is seasoned before I put my ham hocks back into it with my black eyed peas. But before we do that, we have to make sure that our vegetables are kind of sweat down. I want them to be almost translucent to the point to where you really can't see them. But I am going to start off with some of this bacon grease. Like so. Make sure y'all keep y'all bacon grease when y'all cook y'all bacon. It's very, very good, and it makes a huge difference when you're cooking. All right, so let's get this out of here. Well, I want all of that. Make sure it's nice and hot before you throw in your vegetables. There was a little bit of water in there, so I want to make sure that gets cooked out. It's good and hot. We're going to add in our vegetables, our celery, onion, and our pepper. I'm going to put in my garlic last. As I tell y'all, garlic tends to burn quickly, so we want to cook this down first and then come in with our garlic. So sweat them up really, really, really good until they're good and clear. Add your garlic. Give your garlic a few minutes to cook. As you can see, that celery and that onion and that yellow pepper has really gotten pretty clear, and that grease has gotten, or that bacon fat has gotten nicely absorbed. Okay, so look how it looks now. You see how it's almost a little pasty? See that? That's how you want it to look. Now, I probably should have used a red pepper, but I didn't. But anyway, but that's what I had, so that's why I used what I had. All right, so now to this, I'm going to add my black-eyed peas. I'm going to add this. I'm going to get them all sauteed. That thing's hot. Well, I shouldn't say sauteed, but moved around in these veggies. And kind of determine what we got going on here. And I just dropped the black-eyed pea. I got to get that up. All right, so now we got our greens over here talking. My top is flapping. Now, you saw all them greens we put in there? You see how that shrunk down? So had you had more greens than what it is that I had, all you had to do was give it a second, let it kind of reduce itself, and then continue to add the collard greens to it. But when you do that, you have to remember you got to stir it because the greens at the bottom are now being cooked. And you want everything to be cooked, you know, at the same time. All right, so our black-eyed peas are in that pot, and we're going to go in with the rest of our chicken bouillon that we had. This is optional, you don't have to, but I do. A little bit of onion powder. Season to your liking. A little bit of garlic powder. I am going to put a little bit of Danos. And black pepper. I'm going to give it a quick little stir. And before I add my ham hocks back, I am going to add the liquid from my ham hocks. And just kind of see and gauge and make sure I boiled enough. And if I don't, we're going to show you how to solve that problem. Now the rest of the liquid to my ham hocks, I am going to add that to my black-eyed peas. You want to make sure that they are completely submerged. Just a little bit more. About like that. Make sure that they're covered. Now, it's a possibility that the liquid is going to boil out. That's fine. We do have extra liquid. We can add the extra liquid as we choose to. Now, This is a lot less black-eyed peas. It's only 1 bag, so that's a pound of black-eyed peas, and we got a whole lot of ham hocks here. So we just add a couple ham hocks back into our beans.
God dang!
All right, so you're gonna add as much or as little as you like. I'm just gonna put 5 in there because that's look like it's gonna be enough. About 5 of them. We're gonna watch this liquid. You're gonna cover them up and you're gonna let them go for at least 45 minutes. Let's take a look at these greens. All right, so they're pretty cooked down. So what I want to do at this point, because remember that onion that we had at the top, I just want to kind of like spin that around so that the greens at the top can get a chance to get some of that flavored juice in there too. So just flip it around just a little bit. And at this point, I'll just add in just a splash. These greens ain't gonna be long. Just a splash of that vinegar that we talked about. Splash. See that? I'm sorry I can't give you a measurement. That was probably about a teaspoon. Give it a little stir and just let it go. Boy, oh boy. So our collard greens are done. Now the collard greens did not take 45 minutes, but I don't know. Greens been cooking a lot faster lately. This was probably about, I don't like my greens soft, completely mushy soft. So they are perfectly cooked. So this was probably about 35, maybe 40 minutes. Okay, so that's how that looks. Really, really good. And let's come over to these black-eyed peas. Now the black-eyed peas did take an hour, and they look perfect. I did not have to take any out and smush them down or anything. They became quite thick on their own. So they did what they were supposed to do. Look at that. And you see, you can't see none of that celery, none of that onion, nor that bell pepper. But you are going to be able to taste it. Now, I couldn't do the whole injustice of not making cornbread. And yes, I had to pull out the Martha White and made y'all some fresh cornbread from scratch. No, everybody know how to make cornbread. But if you're interested in seeing how I make mine, drop it in the comments and we can definitely do that. But let's get back to what we are talking about here. We are talking about these black-eyed peas and these collard greens. And it's time to taste. For sure. Let's get us some of these greens on this plate. Look at that. Onion is optional, but for me, in my opinion, that onion just gives it such a nice flavor. And I tried it once and I have continued to do it every time. I don't make greens without onions. Look at that. There's our smoked meat. Here's our piece of our turkey neck. And let's come over to our black-eyed peas. Nice and thick. As you can see. Oh, these things look so good. Now for me, the ham hocks is flavor, not so much as eating the ham hocks. All right. right, now let's get a piece of this cornbread. Ooh, that just came out too. Ooh, that's nice and soft. So here are our black-eyed peas and our collard greens. These black-eyed peas are perfect. Now, I did say that it did take a little bit more than the 45 minutes, but you just watch them and see, you know, judge it for yourself. Now, the water content of the black-eyed peas, I did end up pouring in the rest of that, so that probably would have been a little, that was 1, 2, I would say that was probably a little bit more than 4 cups. A little bit more than 4 cups of that liquid that was there to that 1 pound of black-eyed peas. That is perfect. Those collard greens, look at that cut. Look how uniform that is. Look at that. Now, like I tell y'all all the time, not because I cooked it. Look at this cornbread. Look at that. Take a piece of that. That plate is hot. Chef's kiss. Yoke gang, listen here. If you try this, be sure to let me know. Come back to the comments. Talk to me about it, because I really want to know who tried this. So with that being said, if you have not yet checked out www.yokegang.com, make sure that you pick up a t-shirt or patch, support the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel just by watching this video. And y'all already know I love you some good food, but I love y'all for life.